In today's video, what we're going to cover is 6 daily things outside of the gym that every shredded guy does to keep the fat off. Number 1 is avoiding drinking their calories, purely because you'd be surprised how much calories this actually saves throughout a day. Before going to fitness, from drinks alone, I'd probably consume around 600 to 800 calories worth of just drinks, just because I just never knew any better, because the only thing I'd drink all day would be pop and juices. And that's not to say that you can never drink your calories and have like a milkshake or something. It's more a case of a general habit is on most days on average, they'll probably drink squash, diet drinks. Next up is most will always have a high level of discipline, and I'm not referring to like discipline in the gym and stuff like that, because that's kind of obvious and goes without saying, but I'm talking about discipline with just daily basic tasks, things that a typical person will shrug their shoulders at and just not be bothered to do. For example, simple things like assigning yourself a task of every single day doing a daily walk or doing some form of cardio. They'll probably make sure to fit in time to actually do those things, which on the face of it, when it sounds like, oh my god, it's a lot of effort, when it's really not. You gotta think over the course of 24 hours, especially if you're someone, for example, that has equipment in your house. For example, me with a treadmill, this is what I used to do to maintain that physique you see right there. I wake up and within like around 20 minutes, I'll just go on the treadmill, find a YouTube video and just walk away. And then for me, a minimum 20 minutes on the treadmill bangs out like a good 3,000 to 4,000 steps. And that's a great start to the day before I've even left my house. And it is still pretty simple to fit into a day, but simple tasks such as that, like just going for a daily walk or fitting in 20 minutes on the treadmill, it isn't that hard when you think about it, but purely because human nature makes us kind of lazy, we kind of find reasons to skip it. If you feel tired, then well, no, I can't be asked, I'll do it another day, or I'll do it late in the day, and you typically won't do it. So in these scenarios, you have to kind of push against lazy human nature. Number 3, you naturally live a more active daily lifestyle. And by naturally, I mean things outside of the gym. So for example, you play sports with your friends where you're just playing for the pure enjoyment and fun, and you're burning these extra calories as a byproduct. Another one would be doing loads of steps throughout the day. So you're probably doing almost 20k steps every single day. So in those scenarios, that can help someone definitely stay lean. So if you're in the scenario where you don't play a sport and your job isn't really one that makes you move a lot, for example, like you work in an office, you have to then try and create other habits in a day. So for me, I'm one of those people that I need a reason. I can't just go on a daily walk every day. So for me, I've created tasks for myself on multiple days throughout the week where I have to go walk and do my food shop. Otherwise, I can't eat. And you know what I mean? That's a survival mode right there. So if I want to eat, I got to go walk to the store. So that is something for me that kind of pushes me to live something that I don't normally would do. Number 4 is they will typically mainly eat home-cooked foods. So ignore your favorite influencer that kind of shows you all sorts of random food. For a typical person that is actually shredded and stays lean and isn't on any sort of special enhancements, they will typically eat a lot of homemade foods purely because they will know what's in the foods that they make for themselves, often because they've tracked it. They know roughly what the calories, macros and everything is. So they know the foods that they typically eat on a day is going to keep them striving towards their personal goal. So that means most of the foods that they will have will probably be similar meals. And by that, I mean they may have like around 8 to 10 meals that they may rotate between throughout the week, but they already kind of know the calories, they already know the kind of macros, so they know it will still fit in their daily sort of lifestyle. They won't often every single week or every single day create a brand new meal they've never had before, because once again, that would make staying leaner harder because you have to constantly know what's in the new foods you're eating all the time. So they'll typically have a weekly diet that's very, very similar, just spread out throughout the week. That one also leads on to number 5, which is they'll be very mindful about protein intake and calories as a whole. Most at this point are pretty educated when it comes with nutrition after all the years of tracking in the past. You basically get to a point where you memorize what's in certain foods, like how much protein is in that, roughly how much calories it is. So even if they don't strictly track the calories every single day, and it makes like your almost daily life a lot easier because you kind of know, even if you're eating out somewhere, you can look at it and go, okay, I can overall roughly know what's in that and make it balance in their day. And the reason why I say they specifically are definitely mindful of their protein intake is because when staying lean, keeping large amounts of muscle is very hard to do. So you have to make sure your training's on point, your diet's on point, and the higher protein you consume will help you keep most of the muscle. And number 6 now is maintaining a low-calorie diet. This now is obviously relative to the person. For example, someone at 5'6", compared to someone at 6 foot is going to have a different version of what they'd call a low calorie diet. It's specific based on your physique. But yes, for their body type and their size, they will maintain a low calorie diet. So obviously they can remain leaner. But another crucial thing that will impact what these calories will come out to is everything I've previously said in the video, because all of those things will impact the amount of calories that you can consume. So if you took everything I said in this video and did all the tips, but you are an office worker and you only do around say 2,000 to 3,000 steps, you're going to have a much lower calorie diet purely because you do not move enough in a day, which means that you don't burn enough calories. So that's the thing you have to factor in as well. All these things sort of feed into each other, and you need to get most of them on point to actually maintain a lean physique, let alone a shredded one. People just want to focus on crazy amounts of gym workouts, but these subtle things that you're doing outside of the gym have such a massive effect because they're more of the hours of your day. If you can maximize all these things outside of the gym, trust me, in terms of looking better and looking more aesthetic, you are going to see it a lot faster than solely depending on that 1 hour in the gym. Anyways, people, if you enjoyed the video, please drop it a thumbs up and a like, try and support the channel. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.